How are you doing this morning? Awesome. Well, I'm excited and challenged. Excited because we've got some very powerful strategies, resources to share with you over the next couple days. Challenged because time's just going to go by like that, isn't it, Dustin?
Just like the picture shows.
Yes. I got to tell you, I almost cried. I actually did cry, I'll be honest. I cried when I heard Laurel's story. It is absolutely amazing the business that we're in. Meaning, my past career, I was a therapist, got my degree in sports medicine, so I treated patients. And treating patients, do we have any people that treat patients by any chance in the medical field, possibly anybody? It's a rewarding, amazing, special opportunity and gift. And I did that for 8 years, treating patients and working with patients. And to me, when I got into this business, I did the same thing. It's like treating patients, and serving and helping. And to me, that's what this business is about. And I'll never forget that moment that I met Laurel, and I understood. Because what we're going to share with you and teach you for the next couple days is what happens to a lot of people who get into this industry. They find their passion, but then they become a free consultant or a free coach. How many of you kind of know what I'm talking about when I say a free consultant or free coach, right? I listened to her. She found her passion. She had the courage to leave her corporate career for 20 years in a nice L-shaped window outlooking St. Pete, which is supposed to be a cool thing in the business world, I guess. To have a corner office looking outside, I guess that's the big thing. But in a corner and on the 16th floor, and miserable in her, in her job, and she found her passion. She found spirituality, and she found mindfulness and meditation, and she wanted to do it. And it takes a lot of courage to quit something that's like that, because what happens is if you're comfortable, it's hard to make that shift. She did. And then she followed what other people were doing, and I knew what her profitability was in that model, and I was like, there's a better way to do this. I'm here to share with you. And in a moment, I'm going to walk through my 8 Ps, and you're going to see exactly step by step what we took Laurel through. And she's in her office, and the first thing we'd like to do is really write people's signature presentation. She looks out my window, and I see a tear in her eye. She says, what? She goes, oh, my God, that was my office. I'm like, what? Like, what is the odds of my building being right across the street from her building? And then it hit me. It's like, man, I am so blessed and so honored. And I just want to thank God and my guru just for giving me the opportunity to be in this situation, to serve, to support you on your missions. And it's just absolutely incredible. So I'm very, very honored to be a part of your life. And it's the ripple effect, right, Dustin?
That's right. I guess you could say she took the red pill.
Yes.
Red pill, blue pill.
Yes, right? That's right.
I mean, I was thinking about that as that video was playing. That's what she did. She took that jump. She brought that awareness. And that's what we want to do. That's it at Amplify. We just want to bring awareness of what's worked for us and strategies and ideas, not just for us, but also for our clients as well, because we believe that you learn just as much from us as you learn from our clients. How many of you understand that to be true?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think this event's different than any event you'll probably ever go to, meaning we don't work with civilians, meaning the civilians want the push button, magic tricks, and sit home and make money, and this all just manifests to you. I'm here to share with you that's not the truth. So if you came here with the intention of push button magic, quick rich scheme, then you're in the wrong place. And we are here to work with leaders, thought leaders, people that are here to empower the world, to make the transformation, to make the world a better place, and that's what it's all about. So typically when we do these events, these are like kind of behind the scenes of the speaking business, right, Dustin? So we're doing an event in a couple months, it's going to have 2,000 people, but that's a different event. This is behind the scenes of how we put the event on we're going to do with 2,000 people. So this is much different of an atmosphere for that. So that being said, you're in a good place. The people that are in this room are people that do events, do product launches, do publishing, travel the world. And so this is an amazing thing. So it's a great environment to be in because I believe you're only one strategic partnership, JV, away from having 7 figures or your dreams come true. In fact, how many of you believe that to be true? Raise your hands. Absolutely. So in this room, we're going to be doing some really fun exercises and activities for you to meet everybody, line up all your stages for 2017, line up all your webinars, get your product launches ready so that you can launch your business and have an amazing fun time. Right, Dustin?
That's right. And so welcome home, some of you. And if
Yes.
you're brand new, welcome, right? And so we call it the Speaking Empire family. And so Dave and I have tons of ideas and strategies, and the rest of the speakers as well, to share with you. But I want you to really understand the power of the relationships in the room. So how many of you were here with us yesterday at the bonus mastermind? Let me see your show of hands.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You got a little taste of the types of folks that come in and out of the Amplify experience. You know, the challenging thing for us actually doing this event is you guys are influencers, you're speakers, you're thought leaders, and so odds are you've got a gig or two or webinars or coaching calls and clients. And so it's interesting because sometimes you can come for a day or 2 days and come in and out. And so yesterday was kind of one of those days. And, you know, we brought in some amazing folks that Dave just recently met and added new family members to the community. And that's what Dave always has to remind me of, because for those of you that know me, I love St. Petersburg. I call it my bubble. I like to stay in the bubble. I'm kind of like, Dave's your, if you haven't determined, Dave's your like flashy guy, the lovable, outward going. I'm the like inward, I want to be in my cave. So I'm curious, just do a little informal poll. How many of you know that you're more like Dave? Let me see your shine. You like to be on the stage, you like the spotlight, you like to just be out there all the time, right? Okay. How many of you are more like me? You appreciate the cave, right? You know, like it's okay to get out of the cave, right? Like I get that, thank you. But, you know, I kind of like to go back to the cave. And so Dave always reminds me that we have to come out to California because there's a different energy. There's a new crowd. There's a new audience out here. And so, you know, our mission is really to empower you all, because when we do that, you'll go out and build massive tribes and you'll create transformation in your own world. And so that's what we call the ripple effect. And so we determined after what we did in our past that the way that we could create massive transformation is by helping you and taking you guys to the next level. And not taking you, but just giving you awareness of ideas and strategies that have worked for us. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. This event is, you know, for those of you that are looking for the truth, that really want to know, how do you build an information speaking business, and how do you make it grow? And not only that, we're all about working with very certain people, select people. So there's not lots of people that come to our events. We really, really get strategic of who we want to work with, which Dustin's going to work with you on the weekend. Who do you really want to work with? So we're all about working with thought leaders and people that really are in line with our values, which is to empower others, to serve, to make the world a better place. And so we have to do a lot of different things to make sure we get to those individuals. But it's more fun working with the people that you want to work with. How many of you agree with that, yes?
Yeah.
So I can virtually promise you that the people in this room, we have a safe environment to teach you and share with you over the next couple days the speaking business, the info business, the coaching business, because this, like I said, this isn't for civilians. In fact, we're going to be sharing with you over the next couple days. I'm going to put Dustin on the spot. I'm going to actually have Dustin show our funnels, our marketing, how we used to do 2,000 events, how we got the people to the events, how we automated that, how we grew Inc. 500. We're going to share with you exactly step by step so that you can model that. And you'll hear it from me time and time again. I always say, if you model what other successful people do, you will become successful. Absolutely. So we're going to share with you over the next couple days. I know, and I want to put Dustin on a spot because I'm curious, how many of you would love to create your own box, or your own product, you know, have something like this, where it is your specialized knowledge boxed up, and then as you box this up, I wanted to put Dustin on spot. Dustin, after somebody builds their course, I want you to show them and teach them how to do a $1 million product launch in 7 days like you used to do.
Okay.
So how about this? How about we pick somebody from the audience, and I put you on the hot seat, and then you build it in front of everybody. Would that be pretty cool?
Okay.
How many of you guys would want Dustin to show you exactly how to do that, yes?
All right.
Okay, cool. So that way, because a lot of people get confused, it's like they don't know which way to go. So write this down. Success loves sequence. Right? There is a certain system and sequence that we're going to share with you over the next couple days that you want to model. This is kind of like McDonald's. Ray Kroc, right? He created, the system in McDonald's, right? And then from there, they systematize everything. And that's what we're going to show you, our McDonald's systems. We're going to show you exactly what's working. Not only work for us, not even for hundreds of speakers, not even thousands, but thousands of speakers all around the world have been using our system, which we want to share with people. So we've got clients all around the world, Russia, countries I don't even know.
We covered that on yesterday.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun because different countries have different strategies, and actually majority of the countries are about 10 years behind us. So we're going to talk about international speaking and the opportunity out there and how different markets make place. So we're going to share with you this specialized knowledge.
Civilians, Dave? I've heard you say it. And it's funny because, like, you're not military, right?
No.
Right? You watch a lot of military movies or something? It's weird. These civilians. How'd you come up with that one?
It just hit me. It's, leaders are different. We are different people.
Civilians.
And civilians go to McDonald's, and civilians, watch the news and these different things. So
was that one of those things you were on the spot on the stage and you came up with the word?
Yeah, of course.
It popped in your head?
Yeah.
You told me yesterday I said foundation. I was trying to say foundation, and it wasn't even brought to my awareness, but it's funny. How many of you have ever been on a webinar or on the sage and you find yourself sometimes making up words? Let me see. Yeah.
Never happens
Or your
to me,
team
Dustin.
tells you that you've made up these words, and you're like, what? I don't even remember that.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I want to share a quick story with you if you want of how I met Dustin. Is anybody interested in really how I met Dustin? Anybody interested?
I thought we axed this from the...
So it's funny that he talks about how he wants to be in his bubble. Well, you have to imagine this. Get this. So when I first launched my first business, it was called foreclosuresdaily.com. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you about my journey and what I learned. And I took my credit card out, and I launched this business. And what's interesting, I thought if you had a good idea, customers would show up, right? I thought if you had a good idea, things were going to be nice. So I'll never forget, I'm struggling my business, and I'm sitting at my office, which, by the way, was a Starbucks. How many of you can relate to that, right? I was at the Starbucks. I had my board shorts on because I live in Florida, my flip-flops, and I have this laptop. Now, this is 10 years ago. And when I went to college in sports medicine school, we didn't really have computers. There was no laptops when I went to school. In fact, I remember as a project, we had to actually send an email. That was like one of the projects back then because that was a new thing. So I'm taking you back pretty far.
And you thought that was like magic, right?
I literally had to ask somebody how to do it for me. So
outsourcing.
Yeah, I outsourced a lot of my homework in college. That's how I learned outsourcing, by the way. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm frustrated, and the phone rings. And I'm like, Dave Van Hoos, Foreclosures Daily, can I help you? And I hear this voice, and I'll never forget this sound in this moment. It says, "Hi, my name is Dustin, and I want to come work for you for free." I'm like, "For free? All right, what can you do?" He's like, "Well, I got a computer degree." I'm like, "Oh, thank God there's a computer here. I haven't figured out how to turn it on yet. I had it there. I didn't know what it was. I knew I needed one, so I got one." And I said, "Interesting." I go, "All right, meet me at my office at the Starbucks," right? So I'm sitting there, and this young kid comes up. Now, he's 21 years old. Imagine in pictures. He comes up to me, and he's bent over like this, and he says, "Hi, my name is Dustin. Can I come work for you for free?" I'm like, "For free? What can you do?" Right? And I said, "Yes, you can come work for free." And so luckily, the universe delivered. He knew how to work a computer. So as we launched my business, since he was the only one that knew how to turn on a computer, he was our marketing person. So we knew right away that we needed to send him some training. We believe in training. So we sent him to Dan Kennedy, every marketing class there was. We were like one of the first persons to buy Infusionsoft back in the day. And Dustin became our marketing person. And then within 3 years, we grew Inc. 500. And then we sent him to another seminar, and he comes back. I guess some people at the seminar took him out for some Pepsis and said, "Why are you working for them? Why don't you start your own business?" And I'll never forget, at 24 years old, you had the courage, because we were paying him like $80,000, almost $100,000 a year at 24 years old. And he was filling 2,000 events a year. So We had over 100 employees at 24 years old. He had amazing, and he just said, you know what? I quit. I'm going to start my own marketing firm at 24 years old. And then he went on to do all these product launches for all these people. And that's how I met him. Isn't that an interesting story? It's amazing how you connect the dots backwards, right?
You done?
Yeah. I told you the gloves were off today, by the way.
I'll tell my version. You want to hear my version of the story? All right. Well, first off, I got to point out, every time that Dave tells that story, it gets more interesting, and I'll describe it to you in detail here. But the newest thing that you just added was you were on the phone at the Starbucks, or you were on the phone with me, and you said, come to the Starbucks, and you did this like John Travolta thing. Did you guys see that? He was
Yeah, you know, right?
So
I just saw John Travolta last week, so I
you
got
were on the
that.
phone, and you were like,
Amanda got him to dance on stage.
you were on the phone, and then you did the Travolta? You
Yeah,
just did, like, Saturday
that's
Night?
cool.
No? All right, so when Dave tells this story, I think it's funny. He's told it some time now, and I've seen the evolution of the story. And so every time he tells it, my voice goes up an octave, right? So, I don't sound like he said, right? But back then, he wants to make it sound good. So I suspect when you guys come back to the next Amplify, Dave was like really high on the scale there with his voice. Hi, my name is Dustin. I suspect that Dave's going to master the art of like speaking in dog whistle language, and it will be inaudible for you. You won't actually even be able to hear. It'll be so high tone, you won't even be able to hear that. Now, the other thing, too, about that story is when Dave tells it, I don't quite remember being bent over that way, that much, at all, really. But every time you tell this story, I seem to be more hunched over. And so I suspect maybe in 2 years' time at Amplify, 2019, I suspect I will have been like this in the story, Dave, help me. And maybe 2 more years, Dave may have evolved to the story to where I was like the embryo, like, and I'll have been like this, saying, Dave, help me. So Dave and I have had quite a fun time, and quite a wild ride now.
It's interesting. The reason I say that is because my past career as a therapist, I would have patients come in and I could read body language, and it's called kyphosis, where people are bent over, they're hunched over, their spine gets bent over. So I had a lot of patients that I had to work with on correcting their posture. So he was behind the computer, so he was starting to crunch over, and I said, first thing you need to do is meet me at the gym. We got to straighten you out. And so we've had an amazing journey, and it's amazing. If you would have saw Dustin when I first saw him at 21 years old, very, very shy, very, very timid, would never be up on a stage right now, and he'll probably tell you some stories about speaking. But it's amazing that following our system and following what we do, you've transformed yourself into a presentator, and it's amazing. So even a computer kid can do this, I guess, right?
Nerd? Is that the word?
Yeah.
Techie?
Well, back then you were nerdy.
I embrace
we had to get you to the gym.
Bring it.
So, so we're going to have a lot of fun over the next couple days. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be walking you through. I've got a brand new blueprint I am so, so excited about. And I'm also excited about something new that I kind of convinced my team into doing, which is a new publishing model that I'm really, really excited about, Dustin.
Yes. You want to open loop, or do you want to share?
No. It's all good. It's all good.
So over the next couple days, it's going to be like going up a hill, right? So we're going to start off. Dave's going to paint the big picture, the new vision of Speaking Empire, this publishing model that we'll describe here, to really give you the plan and the strategy before we get into the tactics. But right after he does that, we're going to work our way into irresistible offers. And so it's our belief that you ought to sell your idea, whether you're going to raise money, whether you're going to build a product or service, is that you sell it, and you sell it with integrity, and you sell it in the right way and in a powerful way, and then you deliver it. How many of you have ever seen in the world software companies that spend years and years in development, tons of money, tons of resources to develop a product? How many of you have seen that, right? And so that is a strategy to go out and do it. It's just not the strategy Dave and I leveraged to get to where we are. And so we always had to kind of sell people on the vision, sell people on the idea, and build it as we were falling from the plane, as you like to say, Dave.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to talk about, irresistible offer architecture. And so how many of you right now are in product mode, like you're developing a product or service and you're looking for a way to package it. Let me see your show of hands. Okay,
Oh,
excellent.
wow, very nice.
How many of you right now already have a product or service, but you're just not thrilled with conversions, or you feel like you could tweak some things or two? Ooh,
Some people-
beautiful. Okay. Great. So in Irresistible Offers, we'll talk about that and how to do it. And I'll actually bring someone up here on the hot seat, a willing participant, and we'll actually build an offer out of thin air, and I'll sell it to you. Would that be cool?
Yeah, that's really
You guys
cool.
like that?
Yes.
Awesome. And then what we're going to do as well is we're going to recognize some folks. And the reason why we do that is, I said it a little bit yesterday, is Dave and I have recognized we're blessed, we're fortunate to have built Speaking Empire and be on the path that we're on. And so we want to empower others. And so one of the ways we do that with family members is invite them to come speak on the stage, panels, also give them awards and recognition to help facilitate joint ventures. So how many of you would like to get to know some of the family members? Let me see your show of hands.
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. So we're going to be doing that as well today. And as Laurel mentioned, our VIP party tonight.
Yeah, we're going to walk you through our step-by-step process, which we call accelerated learning. So this is not an event where you're just here to learn information. We're going to be actually getting the things that we need to get done here. We're actually going to be writing our offers here. We're going to be creating our strategy for our blueprint here. I'm going to actually take you through a process on Saturday, which is called presentating. I'm going to show you, empower you how to deliver an amazing presentation. So we're going to do a lot of the things that you need to get done here. What I found out is if you teach people a bunch of information, they go home, somehow it just doesn't get done. So we're like a more get-her-done system where we want to get it done here. And that's what we found that's worked best for us. So that being said, you've got to get the mindset ready that you're here to work. If you're here not to work, you're probably at the wrong place. This is a high-level conversation. We're not going to be going over beginner information. This is going to be advanced strategies and systems for speaking companies, authors, and coaches that are on the road to 7 or 8 figures, even 9 figures. So this is a very high conversation that we're going to be having the next couple days. So that being said, you've got to open your mind up. We're going to be challenging your beliefs in what's possible, and you're going to be able to open your mind up to be able to create more. Right, Dustin?
Absolutely. And the one thing I'll say, and Dave, you'll get to rocking and rolling here, is set your intention. I talked about it yesterday a little bit. So if you haven't set your intention, like you want to get on an international stage, you want to get 3 joint venture partners to promote you by this date, you want to put your presentation together, whatever your intention is, like set it, write it down, share it with somebody, because you'll get more out of the event. How many of you know that to be true? Whether you set the intention for your day or you do it before an event. Yeah. And I know sometimes with the travel and the hustle and bustle, like we forget sometimes, or I forget. And so I just want to make you aware to set that intention. And then the other thing is the folks that get the most out of Amplify, obviously take notes, watch what's being shared from the stage and implement those ideas, but also ask the reason why. So why does Dave and Dustin decorate the room in a certain way? Why is the Speaking Empire team members, sitting in a certain position? Why are the certain colors? When you do that, it's going to open up your awareness. Now, most people from the stage would never say that because they hate the scrutiny of that, but we've been doing this for quite some time, and we're happy to be transparent.